Okay guys, what we're going to do is just start off with some tools you might be needing. A couple of different sizes of Phillips screwdriver just there. I've got a couple of different sizes of flat blade screwdriver there. Small pair of tweezers which have seen better days. Pair of long nose pliers. Couple of wrenches there. Right. Just depending on the size of reel, but you'll play around with that. And also what I've got here is just a little tub, unless you have a parts washer at home. You know, I don't, so I just use a little stainless steel tub, nice and clean, so it's got no sand and no bits and gravel and stuff, with a little bit of terps in there, almost like a parts washer. Your oil, now your oil, you want to get that, the one that's recommended for your reel, and also some grease we're going to have as well. I like to put down a little white cloth here just so I can see all the parts as I'm taking them apart, because the last thing you want to do is lose your little spacers and your little washers and all those little bits and pieces, so I'm able to place them here without losing them. So we'll get straight down to it. Just got a very simple reel we're going to start with, and it's just a Shimano Slade. It's a 4000 FB, 2 ball bearings, really simple system. Right, so we'll start with a simple reel and continue on from that. So we're just going to start stripping that apart to a side. Okay, take off spool. So we've got the spool assembly off there. Now inside that spool assembly, in there, are where your drag washers are. So we can do that a little bit later, just to go through those drag washers, give them a clean, make sure they're nice and dry, get rid of any oil on there, because all you want on those, on especially the material washers in there and the drag washers, you just want a tiny little bit of grease put on those. So let's pop that to the side. On top here, just got that little toothed spindle there. I'm just going to pull on that with the washers. Just pop that off. You can see I've just got those in my hand there. I'm just going to put them down in order of how we took them off, just like that. Nice and simple. Now this reel I didn't service too long ago, so you'll see it's pretty clean, but we're going to go through and do it again anyway, just for the point of showing you guys how to do it. So you'll see here, got a tiny little screw there right next to that nut. I'm going to take that screw out first. And again, I like to put everything in order of as I'm like how I'm taking it off, just so I don't lose the stuff. Because once you've lost it, you've lost it. Now, the different sizes of ring spanner that I was talking about, that's for that nut right there. Right, so it's different sizes. Okay, it's not that one. That's the one. Just gonna loosen that off. Grab that little nut, pop it down next to the screw we took off. Now we can take that whole bail assembly, give it a bit of a jiggle, and off she comes. Nice and simple. Okay, and when you're looking in here, okay, get a little slide there where your line slides over. What you want to do is just test it with your finger, just like that. Test it with your nail or whatever, and just see how smoothly she's running. See, that's running really nice and smooth there. So all it may need is a little bit of oil in there, but I will take that apart later on and show you exactly what's in there. Little bearing, you know, the metal slide and a couple bits and pieces. Depending on the type of reel, it does get a little bit more complicated. And in here we don't have much. If you've got problems with your bail arm actually shutting when you're spinning that, that is the assembly in here. The other side, which doesn't have the roller on it, usually has pretty much nothing in it, so you can open it up. If it's got sand in it or whatever, give it a clean, but other than that there's no real parts in there. All the main parts, the spring and the little arm and all that stuff. You can see the little arm in here. Where is it? That little arm in there goes in there and actually makes that spool assembly, if you can see it moving up and down. Makes that kickback when you start turning your handle of your reel. Okay, pop that down. Now here's the beautiful part. This part here, right, that's actually your anti-backlash. So you see when you're actually doing it up, so it doesn't go wind click, that's this unit here. Now usually there'll be some screws holding it down and some screws actually holding this unit together. You don't want to take out the screws that are holding that unit together, because once you do, all these bearings and all these bits and pieces are going to fall out. You're going to end up with a big mess. So just have a good look. You can see that screw running straight through, so that's holding it on. That screw's not, so that's actually holding the assembly together. That one's running straight through, and that one's running straight through. So there's only one screw on this that's holding that assembly together. So we'll take that off now. So this should just slide off like that. Now you can see it's a sealed unit, everything's in there. Okay, now a lot of people are going to pump grease, going to pump oil, going to pump all this stuff in there. You don't want to do that. You want this completely dry, free from grease, free from oil. You just want to make sure those rollers are running smooth. So if there's oil and grease in there, easiest way to clean it out, just pop that there for a sec. Just get yourself a nice clean rag. Push it through the guts, just like that. Give it a turn. You can see there's just a little bit of black coming off that, of oil and stuff that might make its way in there. And that's it, just nice and clean. And you can see all those bearings inside are all free running, nice. You just want that completely dry, no grease, no oil, no nothing. Nice and clean. Okay, we'll pop that aside with its screws, just like that. Okay. Now, got this little slide here. You can see how it goes on. Always pay special attention to how things are actually installed on the reel. So you can see that little slide there. We don't want everything to come out yet. That's that. So a little slide. Pop that to the side. Now what we're going to do is take off the backing plate. One screw, take the backing plate off, and then open the assembly up. The second screw off. Pop the rear assembly off. Okay, it's nothing. It's just really a dust cover type thing. Put the two screws in that. Nothing really to service there, so we can put that aside. Now you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 screws. We'll take those out now, and that will actually open this up for us and get us to the inner workings of it.